Hello, my mathematicians. Today we are going to be looking at lesson 3 of module 3. So this lesson is all about adjusting the quotients. So hopefully by the end of this lesson, you'll be able to adjust a digit in a whole number quotient based on whether the estimate is too high or too low or too high. So we're going to start with a step it out problem. It says, a ship with scientific equipment is mapping the ocean floor. The equipment can scan 24 square kilometers of ocean floor each day. How many days will the ship take to scan 941 square kilometers? So part A says use compatible numbers to estimate 941 divided by 24. Well, I'm going to use 25. And if I look at 25, what multiple of 25 is close to 941? And that would be 1,000. That's an easy number for me to use. So I'm going to put 1,000 divided by 25. And that equals, 25 goes into 100 4 times. So I have a 4. There's 0 left over, so 40. So I know my answer is going to be somewhere around 40. So if that is the case, then I am going to use that to help me solve the problem. So B says use the first digit of your estimate as the first digit of the whole number quotient. Is your estimate too high, too low, or correct? So what that means is that I'm going to say 24 goes into 94 4 times. And then I'm going to come off to the side here and I'm going to do 24 times 4. 4 times 4 is 16. 4 times 2 is 8. Plus 1 is 96. Well, 96 is larger than 94. So that means that my estimate is too high. So C says adjust the first digit based on your result and then divide. How many tens are left? Well, 4 was too high, but it was close. So we're going to go with 3. So 24 times 3. 3 times 4 is 12. 3 times 2 is 6. Plus 1 is 72. So that means we're going to subtract 72. 4 minus 2 is 2. 9 minus 7 is 2. So we get 22 tens left. Then it says divide the ones. So I gotta carry down my 1 here. This is divide the ones. Estimate the whole number quotient and use the number. Is your estimate too high or too low or too correct? Or not too correct, but correct. So if we think we have 24 and we have 221. So 221 divided by 24. We could estimate that to 200 divided by 25. And if I think about quarters, I know that 4 quarters equal $1, and so $2 would be 8 quarters, so this would be 8. So I'm going to try 8. So 24 times 8. 8 times 4 is 32. 8 times 2 is 16. Plus 3 is 19, so we get 192. So I'm going to subtract. 1 minus 2 I can't do, so 1, make that 11. 11 minus 2 is 9. Then we have 1 minus 9 we can't do. So we get 11 minus 9 is 2, so 29. So that is too low. And I know that it's too low because 29 here is larger than 24, so I know it can go into it another time. So if I do the division, so if we do 20, I'm going to rewrite the problem here so I have room so you can see what I'm doing. So we had the 3 minus the 72 gave us 221. And we said 8 was too small, so I'm going to use a 9. I'm going to do 24 times 9. 9 times 4 is 36. 9 times 2 is 18, plus 3 is 21, so we're going to get 216. And 1 minus 6 I can't do, so 11 minus 6 is 5. So we get 39 with a remainder of 5. So it says adjust the second digit based on your results, and then divide, interpret the remainder to answer the question. So we have 39, remainder 5, and we want to figure out how many days it will take the ship to scan 941 square kilometers. So we're not going to say it takes like 39 and a half or 39 and a fraction. You're going to say how many days will they have to go out and do this. So that would be a total of 40 days. Because for 39 days, they will do, 39 days, they will do 24 square kilometers. And then on the 40th day, they will do 5 square kilometers. Then we're going to go to the next page. So it says a robot submarine is sent to collect fish deep underwater. The mission is to collect at least 2,150 fish. The submarine makes 35 trips and collects the same number of fish on each trip. How many fish does the submarine have to collect during each trip? So we're going to start by using compatible numbers to estimate 2,150 divided by 35. So I'm going to start by thinking that I want to take 35 to 40. And so if I think about 40, if we're dividing by 40, that I can use 2,000. So what does that equal? Well, 4 goes into 25 times, so that means 40 is going to go into 205 times. And then you have a 0 left over, so that's 50. So we're going to do about 50 times. So then part B says to use the first digit of your estimate as the first digit of your whole number quotient is your estimate too low, too high, or correct. So we're going to start by dividing. So 2150 divided by 35. And it wants us to start with the 5. So if we put a 5 up here, we do off to the side 35 times 5. 5 times 5 is 25. 5 times 3 is 15, plus 2 is 17. So then I'm going to subtract my 117. Or my 175. Sorry, I don't know where I got the 117 from. 175. 5 minus 5 is 0. 1 minus 7 you can't do, so this becomes a 1. We have 11 minus 7 is going to be 40. So 40 is larger than 35, so this is going to be too low. So adjust the first digit as needed, then divide how many tens are left. So we are going to adjust this Typically you would erase it, just start over, but I'm going to rewrite the problem here just so you can see. So 35 times 4, 4 times 5 is 20, 4 times 3 is 12 plus 2. Oh, sorry, too low, not too high. Sorry about that. So we're going to multiply by 6 because it was too low. 6 times 5 is 30. 6 times 3 is 18. Plus 3 is 21. 6 times 2 is 12. Plus 2. No. 6 times. Sorry, my brain. Let me start over with that. I'm still back on the too high, too low thing. So we want 35 times 6. 6 times 5 is 30. 6 times 3 is 18. Plus 3 is 21. There we go. I should put the 2 in the wrong spot. And it threw me all off. So we're going to subtract 210. So we have a 6 up here. So 5 minus 0 is 5. 1 minus 1 is 0. 2 minus 2 is 0. So we bring down that, and we had 5 tens left over. And then divide the 1. So estimate a whole number quotient using number. Is your estimate too low, too high? Well, I would just do 50 divided by 50 equals 1. So we're going to try a 1. 1 times 35 is 35. Subtract, we get 15. 15 is smaller than 35, so we know we are good. So it is correct. So then we have 61 remainder 5 or remainder 15. And so the submarine has to collect how many fish on each of its trips? Well, we can't collect part of a fish, so we're going to have to add 1 to our quotient. So we're going to have 62. I hope that you are now able to adjust a digit in a whole number quotient based on whether an estimate is too high or too low. And remember that to be a math person, you just have to be a person and do math.